Today's video, I have another tip for you guys to be able to stop a counter hook over your jab. If a guy is countering as a southpaw, their right jab, and as an orthodox, their left jab. Okay, and I got Siobhan here to demonstrate, and I did a previous video on a way to do this as well. I'm gonna give you guys another tip here today. This is for the guys that are carrying their hands a little lower at times, or like I said, they're in a Philly shell or shoulder roll position, and I'm an orthodox, and he's the southpaw, and he's throwing a jab. I'm throwing a jab at him, and he's countering me over the top with a hook. He's slipping and he's countering. He's slipping and he's countering. Okay, so I'm jabbing for his face, and he's slipping and countering. Now I talked about a way where you could get him to quit slipping to the right and countering you with the hook in one of my previous videos. But today what I'm going to talk about what else you can do, okay? So he's got himself in position. Everything in boxing is a target, okay? So he's showing me that shoulder, and I'm having a hard time because when I try to jab him in the face, he's countering me with the hook. I'm going to forget about jabbing him to the face right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jab him to the shoulder, okay? I'm going to shoot for that shoulder. He's giving it to me, I'm going to take it. I'm going to shoot the jab to the shoulder, okay? Now, when I jab him and I catch him to the shoulder, the body doesn't move, the head moves, okay? That's going to be a lot easier to hit than his face, especially if he's good and he's countering me with it. So I got to come up with something different. I'm going to jab him to the shoulder. When I jab him to the shoulder, you see what I just did there? I turned his waist clockwise as well. His waist went from left to right there, okay? He's going clockwise with that. And what's happening there is now there ain't no way he can throw that counter hook. Okay, because I just turned him. There is no way he can throw a left hand with any power because I turned him that way. That's it. That's not having anything. And I also opened him up for my own right hand. Okay? So when I throw that jab into that shoulder, and I do that, and I knock that shoulder right there, that hook is dead now. Okay? Now I'm right in position where I'm opening him up to throw the right hand. Okay? So just a great little trick. Guy carries his hands and shoulder up, and that's why one of the things that I always talk about and teach about, I feel like most all-time greats had something with the shoulder roll defense. They have that in their arsenal, and it's great. And there's so many reasons why you should have it, okay? And I think every great fighter really, I think if you're going to be a great fighter, for the most part, depending upon your style, you should have some form of that in your defense, in your arsenal. But always just keeping your hand here and giving the man, even like the great Floyd Mayweather, he switches it up. He doesn't always just lay in that shoulder roll position, okay? Because if you do it all the time, you never give a guy a different look. He can really start to gauge range, and he can start using that shoulder as a target. Some guys can stay in that position, the guy you're fighting doesn't know it, so they get away with it, but it doesn't make it right. You want to give a guy different looks. You stay in that position at all times. That can be a target, okay? Now, that's why I always say you switch up in the hands, even if the hand is here, okay? I don't believe in a high guard, but if the hand is here, now I just took that shoulder position away. And if I try to shoot for the shoulder, he could counter the hook. He could counter the hook, okay? He could counter me with the hook, yeah. I'm shooting for that. How am I going to shoot for the shoulder? Because you just took it away from me, okay? So now if I just shoot for the hand or shoot for that area, he could counter, okay? If he keeps at a high guard, now I can pin it a lot easier. But if it's here, he can maneuver that hand around me when I shoot. He can maneuver that hand around, okay? In that position, that's why elbows in, hand not high guard, hand here. Now you got options where if I throw it, he could counter the hook. Boom, he could throw the hook. If he's up here, he has more travel distance to do that, and his hand is in a position where it's not kind of here, it's not at that angle, it's at this angle. It's right here, it can be pinned. When I cover my one video, the pin, okay, it's here, I can trap it a lot easier. I can trap that a lot easier, but here, it's great in a great position. So from here to here, when you want to use the shoulder roll, back to here when you're not using the shoulder roll, is what I believe is the best one. You got like guys like Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, that's where their hands were at. Okay, so when your hands are always here, this is a target for me to I can start gauging my range, I can start using it. If he's a right-hander and I'm a southpaw, it's the same thing. I'm gonna be here, okay, I'm here to be able to set up my left hand. I could throw it with a step out. What I've done here, I've turned his waist clockwise, okay? I've turned his waist clockwise. He can't throw the hook now, okay? Because I got him bound up there at the hips. Okay, now he can't throw the left hand, and now I'm in position, when I turn his core, like I'm in a position also, he's not gonna be able to move his feet very fast when I give him that hit. So it's simultaneously, when I give him that hit, then I can step to the outside and I can throw the left hand, I can get that angle. Okay, so that's just a great move, great thing to do. If you guys are in sparring or in a fight and a guy keeps on giving you that, or he's just staying in that position, you can use that shoulder as a target. It's all in how efficient and how proficient you are with it, how good the rest of your foundation is. And that's why everybody should have my instructional videos, because I go over the basic foundation that you need to be able to do these $1 million moves, okay? $1 million moves with a $2 basic foundation, you're never gonna get to where you wanna get. So like, share, and subscribe, comment below, leave your guys questions. Follow me on Instagram at Yankello Boxing for a lot of other boxing related stuff. I got clips of me working with Roy Jones, getting ready for this Mike Tyson event, and also on the channel as well, I'm gonna be covering that. So don't forget to check that out, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.